It's impossible to avoid floods in any construction site, and it can have devastating consequences. Whether it's caused by a natural disaster, a burst pipe, or an aging water infrastructure, it's a fact of life. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to reduce your risks of flooding and avoid its devastating effects. Read on to learn how you can prepare your construction site for the possibility of flooding. First, make sure you know how much water is present on your construction site. It is a good idea to seek professional assistance before beginning the cleanup process. While flood damage may seem minimal at the start, there is still an element of risk. If you're renovating or building a new home, consider hiring a specialist to remove the water. In addition, it is important to know how much sewage is present and whether there are any dangerous pathogens in the water. Once the site is completely dry, call your construction insurance company. If your insurance company covers flood damage, they should be able to offer you a price quote. Once they've assessed the damage, they'll give you an estimate for repairs. If you're working on a building or renovation project, you should get a quote from a professional. It's best to do this as soon as possible. You can also work with your insurance company to get a quote for the cleanup process. When a flood causes damage to a construction site, it is vital to contact your insurance company. Depending on the type of construction that your project is, your insurer may be able to offer you flood damage coverage. The policy may cover water damage only to building materials, but not any damage to the structure that might already exist. Regardless of the type of construction you're working on, you can be sure that your insurance company will cover the flood damages. After the construction site is completely dry, you can contact your insurance company to get a price quote for repairing the damage. This is the best option for many homeowners, because it means that they'll know exactly how much it will cost to restore the area. If you're working on a large construction project, you can hire an insurance agent to help you with the process. If you're working on a smaller construction project, your insurance company will be happy to pay for the damage, but it might be better if you hire a professional to do it for you. While a flood can be a disaster for any construction project, it's a great opportunity for you to prevent the worst from happening. Your insurance company can help you with the cleanup and restore your site as quickly as possible. You can even work with a third-party cleanup contractor to help you with the flood mitigation efforts. And remember that it's not just insurance companies that should be called during a flood. Before you begin construction, it's important to understand the area. You need to know which watercourses are nearby and how far they're from your construction site. Knowing your surrounding watercourses is vital in assessing the risk of flooding and identifying solutions. In addition, you should contact a flood mitigation company as soon as possible to get the most out of your investment. You'll be glad you did. This will help you protect your business and minimize the damage and recover. If you're in a flood zone, it's essential to notify your insurance company immediately. If your construction site is in a flood-prone area, you'll want to reach your insurer as quickly as possible. Once the floodwaters subside, the insurance company will monitor the building to prevent further damage. You will have to find out what caused the flood to start before you can move forward with your reconstruction. It's best to contact a specialist as soon as you can. A construction site should have a disaster management plan that includes a disaster response plan and emergency response team. The team should be well trained in flood risk and understand how to respond. It's also a good idea to hire a third-party cleanup contractor for the cleanup after a flood. Be sure to have the proper contract with them to ensure the safety of your workers. In case of a flood, it's best to contact a company that specializes in flood mitigation.